The Royal Rumble is officially in the books, and we are all gas, no break.
Froze.
Peter doesn't like the eating. We're going to eat. We're officially all gas and no break on the road to WrestleMania in Las Vegas, Nevada. We got our first main event set. Which night? I don't know, but we got our first championship match set on Raw this week. Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of Off the Mat, your new wrestling obsession. I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you enjoyed the Royal Rumble as we get ready to stare down Triple H's fourth new era in the last 12 months. Oh, hold on. I'm going to eat some more. Yeah. New era. Fuck yeah. Let's go.
All right.
New era.
You know, we can nitpick the entire friggin' Royal Rumble. From Roman Reigns winning it, from LA Knight getting kicked out, losing our who should have been the champion. Nia Jax had no clue who knocked her out, got her out of there. Brock Lesnar getting friggin' thrown. We can nitpick on everything. The real question is the setup of WrestleMania. There are rumors that are out that are going through the rumor mill and the dirty dime sheets.
And it's a new era. Yeah, new era.
New era. Saying that there possibility of Roman Reigns going into the Elimination Chamber and winning, so he fights both champions. That would be... Wait, before I even say anything to that, Jey Uso is upset that everybody hates the fact that Roman won. That he goes, you disrespected my family. So I have a feeling that, you know, the fact
I gotta go clean up. I just yeeted all over myself.
You know, like I said, I understand where they want Roman Reigns the biggest guy in the business now, but they're not giving a chance to build stars. And I'm going to tell you this.
So much so he went on Pat McAfee last week and said that himself, that
Exactly.
WWE is failing to make new stars, so they have to bring him back.
Exactly. It's like the same thing that actually John Cena said to Roman Reigns in the past, too, when they had the promo. Back, they just showed the promo just recently. But this is my thing. The total disrespect that Drew McIntyre gets. Remember, regardless of the fact of what's what, how he won, Drew McIntyre is a world title champion. He's the championship. He's the champion from Raw, from SmackDown. If I was creative, what I would do is have McIntyre attack CM Punk and Roman Reigns for disrespecting him. Come on the show and sneak and do what he can and destroy them too. Tell him to disrespect me. And have to build up those stakes. Yes, you still have Cody and Jacob Fatu that are in the mix. But the whole fact is, I would have McIntyre do that. To go after them for disrespecting them. To change things up. To make it a little crazier. That Roman Reigns gets so pissed off that he decides he wants to fight McIntyre for the belt. And throw things off. But it's not going to happen because they already set it in stone on Monday night. But what do you think?
I mean, I've been judgmental of WWE's creative for months now.
I know.
Listen, we're in a new era. Our fourth new era in the last 12 months. 4. Every PLE, it's a new era. It's a new era. Well, this is a new era. But we're doing the same old bullshit.
Nope.
You could visibly see me and our watch along. Shout out to everyone who attended our watch along for Royal Rumble Saturday.
Thank you
What
for
was
that.
the first thing I said when Roman Reigns won? No, 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 no.
Yep.
Why is Roman Reigns winning? Because WWE wants to make something out of nothing. They did a great job on Monday, to their credit. Punk and Reigns did. They deserve all that credit for that promo that they cut on each
That
other.
was a good promo. It really was. It was.
But
You
you have Roman Reigns choosing Punk for no other reason than I hate you, Punk. The Rumble, probably the worst Rumble in history. Did you see that WWE came out and said they're not going to use LEDs on the back of seats anymore?
Yes, I saw that too. Because it made it look like it was an empty stadium. You know, I understand and I admire anybody doing something different to try to bring out, highlight the arena, or to bring up a wrestler or do something. But it's the execution on how you do things. You know,
It was
look, first of all, not a lot of people were happy that it was in Saudi Arabia. That's one. You know, you have Brock Lesnar getting thrown out of the ring with one of your biggest stars, but not even in not you're more worried about Jey Uso yeeting all over the place. You know, but I have to admire one thing. It did show the talents, of Lash Legend. It did show the talents of Obafemi. It did show the talents of Devon Evans.
oh, dude, don't even get me started on Obafemi. Talk about the worst, one of the worst Raw debuts.
I know, yeah, I know.
Ever.
Yeah. So there, I mentioned it before when we were talking in the chat that I can see them trying to make him as the new Brock Lesnar and dominating, have him go up in value, and he's the one that's going to take down Gunther. That's what I see down the road. That they're going to keep him and Gunther freaking separated, not crossing paths anytime soon, until things start the stakes start. Once he retires Brock Lesnar, Gunther retires Brock Lesnar, then you go watch Obafemi, dominate, doing what he's doing, and then catches the attention of Gunther. And that's what brings the thing. So that's what I see might be happening.
I mean, I feel like Obafemi's debut on Raw was some of the most Vince McMahon shit we've seen in a long time. Like, it really feels like Triple H is hitting his Vince McMahon era, or he's getting a call right before Raw goes on. And says, listen, pal, it's your father-in-law, the genetic jackhammer. You want to know what'd be some good shit? Obafemi, he's got to come out and he's got to be just like Braun Strowman and squash tag teams. Remember Ryback? That was some good shit, pal. That's how Obafemi needs to be packaged.
Hey, speaking about Ryback, did you see Ryback actually was very positive on the Royal Rumble? Like, yes. He was talking something and I had to watch the thing twice, and I was like, really? Usually he's very critical and negative about WWE, they're creative and all that bullshit. He actually enjoyed the Rumble, which a lot of people did enjoy the Rumble. See, and that's the thing. We criticize because we're longtime wrestling fans and watch, we watch different eras of wrestling, and we have what our era is that we like the most about wrestling, and what made wrestling our favorite thing to watch. I know they're watering down a lot of things now. Like I said, I keep bringing up corporations, to make the money, put asses in seats. They don't care. Storyline, no storyline. They put out there just a generic wrestling, and they don't care what happens. It makes sense. It makes no sense. That's what they're looking to do. But the normal person that's not a wrestling fan all liked this Royal Rumble. I don't understand, and not to take away from new fans that want to see wrestling and don't care about storylines, like young kids. Like they're happy that Roman Reigns won. Those kids that are excited that Roman Reigns won, and we criticize it because we know that it's the only direction that they're going, because there's no they could do other directions and change things up, but they chose the safe way, like they always do. And it's kind of funny. I was watching a video the other day about wrestling today compared to what it was back in the Attitude Era. And the Attitude Era was all this action happening, all this craziness. It was like nonstop. The story was great. The drama, you couldn't wait to see what happened next week, this and that. And then we get this. And it reminds me of Star Wars, what Disney did with Star Wars. That the magic with Star Wars had and what they're putting out, they're just putting it out because they want to get the casual fan. They don't care about the fan. And that's what I think that wrestling is. They don't care about the fan. They care about just getting the next generation of people, and they don't care what direction they go.
Well, they can't care about you. They've already got you. They need to attract others that are not fans. They've already got you. They've already got your loyalty. They've already got your money. You're already in their pocket. They don't give a shit about you no more. It's about obtaining the audience and retaining the audience that isn't already subscribed to them, that isn't already buying everything that they put out, that isn't already, smelling their shit and saying it sounds like roses. That's what it is. That's how you grow. But listen, this Royal Rumble up and down the card was lame. If we're being honest, no asses in seats. The Saudi culture, they're apparently show up late for everything. So much so that on SmackDown, Michael Cole had to point it out and say, listen, it's not just that the crowd is small. People just haven't shown up yet. And he even says that's a cultural thing where they're late. They show up late for things. So they kick off to Cody Rhodes in the ring and SmackDown to nobody around.
Yep.
And by the time Randy Orton comes out and they start their promo, 15 minutes into the show, okay, people are showing up. Yep. And then it gets packed, and then you got the LED lights. But like, you have 2 minutes between entrances, and it felt like the pacing of those were off. There was no surprises. The biggest surprise was Brie Bella.
Who now signed the multi-year deal, and they bring back the tag team champions. They're coming back in the tag team mix. All right, fine.
You had wasted entrances like Mr. Iguana and La Parka. Like, why?
And you could not put Finn Balor?
My question is, like, why Mr. Iguana and why La Parka? Why not Vikingo? Why not
the fans?
Psycho
don't
Clown.
know who they are. The fans don't know who they are. They don't,
right, because they don't get AAA. Just like poor Powerhouse Hobbs, man. I feel bad for Royce Keys because they shouldn't have debuted him there. They should have waited to debut him in Raw and Philly because they don't get AEW over there. So nobody in Saudi Arabia gives two fucks who Royce Keys is. And that's terrible because he's a fantastic performer.
Yes, he is.
So when you have the Titantron come up and it says, boom, Powerhouse Hobbs, and then that crumbles to Royce Keys, everyone's like, who?
Who the hell is that?
Who?
Who they show people in the crowd looking at each other going like this.
Yeah, they don't know.
They don't know who they are.
Yeah, they don't know who they might know Mr. Iguana.
You couldn't get
from
one,
WWE.
You couldn't get one legacy character. You couldn't get Kane. You couldn't get The Undertaker. You couldn't get somebody, a person that I know that Kurt Angle is not fit for wrestling, but I'm just saying, but somebody that is pretty fit that can come into the,
No legends. No legends.
No, Rocky, what's up, man?
Agree, especially both Royal Rumble matches. Total disappointment.
The women's Royal Rumble match picked up later on, a little bit better. It had
their finish was good. Their final four was good.
Yes,
the rest of the match, the pacing was bad.
So the final four in the men's made no sense. And the one thing that people are talking about too that I'm hearing, why bring Gunther in there as number 30 to make him lose? It would have been better if he would have won. Do you know the total domination that man would have had? You retire AJ Styles. Now you have the championship. You could pick anybody you want.
Oh yeah, he would have had universal heat.
Oh my God, that would have been great.
But he went out on Monday night and got it himself in a great spot. And shout out and credit, credit goes to Dragon Lee, man, because when he went limp from that.
Oh my God, Dragon Lee, the memes with that Dragon Lee. It's like he died. He was like, he dead.
But the meme that's going around out there too, that you shared in our group chat of Gunther chop sleeper, chop sleeper, chop sleeper. That's true. That's all the man does. Chop sleeper, chop sleeper, chop sleeper, chop sleeper.
Think about Stone Cold. Think about The Rock. Yeah, he has a rock bottom. a lot of these wrestlers are just grounded. They only have certain aspects, and there's not a lot of ammunition they have in their arsenal of moves. You know, he should pick up on some other moves. He should get better. You know, if he could be
Stone Cold had a lot of offensive moves. He had the stomp in the mud hole in the corner, the lateral press, he had a lot of offensive moves. So did the Rock bottom, people's elbow. You know, it's not the same move where it's just chop, try to put you in a sleeper, chop, try to put you in a sleeper.
You know, you should become a technician wrestler. Then you should become, you know, have the moves. You know, have the ankle lock, have different types of moves in your arsenal. Also the sleeper and the chop. You know, do something that's gonna make you stand out.
Which I think you should if you're going to be called the Ring General. If your name's gonna be the Ring General, you should have an arsenal kind of like Cody Rhodes. You know, where Cody Rhodes has a lot of offensive moves. And you shouldn't just have the 3 moves of doom. John Cena's been, criticized for 3 moves of doom forever. Roman Reigns was always just Superman punch spear, Superman punch spear drive by. Can't forget about the drive by. New Brock Lesnar suplex F5. Yeah, I mean Brock Lesnar suplex F5.
Well, like I said, I think Obafemi is going to be
because the one time Brock Lesnar tried to do a shooting star press, he landed on the top of his fucking head.
Yeah, I know. So, I know, and that was crazy. He had that his forehead was huge. His career almost ended there. They said that he lucky his career didn't end. He almost Brock
Lesnar didn't break his fucking
neck. But I understand where you're coming. You know, look, every week we come out here and we talk about the dislikes and the new era and all these things. The Triple A.
Which new era? 1, 2, or 3, or 4?
4, whatever.
Okay.
And look, as much as
the week
is doing, I think it's time for a change in the higher command of creative. I think, you know, like I was telling you in the back, you know, give Shawn Michaels a chance at creative. He has hardly nothing in NXT, and he's doing a pretty good job down there in NXT of what he has. And some of the storylines, may not work, but a majority of it is actually better than some of the storylines that are going on in the main roster. And that's the problem. You know, look, you want to please everybody. The Royal Rumble was a disappointment. You know, the Gunther match with AJ Styles was good. You know, could have been better. You know, the McIntyre match with Sami Zayn, you know, made McIntyre look. He destroyed Sami Zayn, which that's what McIntyre should do. You know, have that. And like I said, the total disrespect of McIntyre on Raw between CM Punk and Roman Reigns, McIntyre should come out and attack them both and saying, I'm the number 1 champion. Meanwhile, McIntyre does have the belt that should be one that Roman Reigns carried. The belt that freaking CM Punk is the one that they created because Roman Reigns held it hostage. So,
which Roman Reigns is a hypocrite because he spent months talking about how that's a second-rate title, how that's not the real title, how nobody wants that title.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden he wants that title. He's got his eyes set on that title. He wants CM Punk's World Heavyweight Championship. He wants that secondary title.
Because he hates CM Punk. Seth Rollins hates CM Punk. Yeah. So that's 6. I don't be bad.
I was just gonna say I don't think it's the title. I think it's the person holding the title that he's going after.
Okay. You know,
but still the problem is we're not going to see the dude for 3 months. We're not going to see him probably till the Raw and SmackDown before WrestleMania.
That's WrestleMania.
Or well, actually no, sorry. Probably the Raw and SmackDown before Elimination Chamber, then the Raw and SmackDown after or before Mania. That's it. We won't see him weekly.
Well, like I was telling Matt in the back, we were talking about the fact is that there's rumblings out there that Roman Reigns might be in the Elimination Chamber. And imagine if he wins that. Day 1, McIntyre. Day 2, CM Punk. So you have a double dose of Roman Reigns trying to win championships.
And all Raw
put him back with to be double champion. Come on now.
All Raw pretty much did was effectively confirm what everyone's been saying, what Pete's been saying, and what I think Dom even said last week is that Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, and now you're probably going to have Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, and Jacob Fatu in a 3-way for the WWE Championship. That's what we're staring at here. That's your 1 and 2 main events for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The run back in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, you're trying to fit in all these cards that are going to be in for Vegas, and you make the both nights something special.
come on, Sticks.
Come on,
Hit us with
yeet.
it. Come on,
Yeet.
Sticks.
Yeet. Roll it back.
There it is. Oh my God.
But
And I like Jey Uso.
I do too.
And nothing against Jey Uso.
But you know what the crazy thing
But
is?
it's the fucking Royal Rumble, dude. You were in a match for a championship shot in the main event of WrestleMania. And you want to take 2 minutes yeeting and then run it back.
Yo, Roman Reigns did it perfectly. He was laughing with Jay. Roll it back. Roll it back. That punched him right in the face.
So much yeeting that we didn't even get to see Brock Lesnar get eliminated.
Exactly. And that's something big. You know, so you eliminate somebody without even
That's the crazy part.
because of an entrance, which kind of tells you something. Brock Lesnar on his way out then, if you really do that he's not he's not as big anymore as he was. That you're eliminating a top guy. And you're doing that. So
hold on. I don't really know if that says anything. I think that tells us that they don't know when to pan the camera to get your top guy in the shot. It
was like the same thing with Nia Jax. We had no idea when the Nia Jax get knocked out of the ring. You know, so one of the wrestling programs,
she got injured.
One of the wrestling on Instagram. I said, "Can someone please tell me when did Nia Jax?" And I had all these flooded people telling me, "Oh, this and that." I said, "Thanks." That when Alexa Bliss got thrown out, that's when Nia Jax got thrown out. But I'm kind of surprised because you would have Nia Jax and Lance Legends that they're a tag team that they would have some dominance in the ring. You know, but all right, this one's in the books, man. You know, we could talk all night long about the disappointments and what's what. But let's talk about the positives that were in this in the Royal Rumble. The positives that we have another masked man running around taking out people, especially Braun Breaker. You know, it was funny because you mentioned it, Matt. You said, "Oh, Dom's intuition was true. Another masked man." I said, I was sitting there talking to my brother earlier. We've had 3 masked men in the last little bit over a year. R-Truth, freaking Austin Theory, and now this third one.
Well, you technically 4 if you count when Jacob Fatu returned, because he returned as a masked man.
Yes, he did. You're right. I forgot about Jacob Fatu. So 4. So 4 plot lines with masked men in this, which is kind of funny. All right, fine. You got to cover up somebody that you don't want anybody to know it's a surprise. But let me ask you this question now. The guy who attacked Braun Breaker now, how long we think it's going to be until we know who it is?
Oh, dude, I think because the reception of Austin Theory didn't go over the way they thought, I think it's going to probably be right up. We probably won't see another thing about it till Elimination Chamber. They're going to try and make it another one of those surprise at Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, Rocky. They're saying Logan Paul because he did have makeup on his eyes. They had a close up of his face. He had dark makeup on his eyes and a little bit around his face. So I don't know if that's a hint that Logan Paul.
Oh, I've heard Logan Paul. I've heard Jake Paul. Jake Paul is the newest one that people are running with. I've heard Buddy Matthews.
Adam Pearce.
I've heard Adam Pearce. Yeah, I mean Seth Rollins. I've heard everybody.
Well, I don't think Seth Rollins was ready. So apparently, this is what the rumor is. Grayson Waller stepped in for Seth Rollins because he wasn't ready yet, and it's not part of the story. But which does make kind of sense if you really think about it. It could be part of the story if you really think about it. Grayson Waller was tag team partners with Austin Theory. Austin Theory left, and they had a fallout.
Well, Grayson Waller doesn't have facial hair like that.
I know.
So
Some of
the other
cover-up
thing
is-
too is that we put too much stock in the facial hair, what the guy looked like, the color of their skin, this, that, and the other thing. When potentially
anybody.
whoever did that isn't who the masked man is going to turn out to be, because the first masked man in the that attacked Seth Rollins was supposedly a black guy, and now it's Austin Theory. So just because
maybe he had gloves on. I'm thinking that maybe he had gloves on to cover his head.
even like the people were showing like the close up of the face, and he had dark skin, and
It was OJ. You're saying it was OJ?
yeah, well, but
Yeah.
still, man, like just because that's what we got doesn't mean that's who it's going to end up being.
You know,
It could have been Joe Hendry for all we know.
yo, and
New
congratulations
NXT
to Joe
champion.
Henry. Say his name, and he appears. Your new NXT champion.
Wave your hands from side to side. There you go, Sticks. Get it, Sticks. I don't know, dude. To me now, and that goes back to what we were talking about with creative. Like the creative in WWE is so rinse and repeat. We're really doing another masked man angle. We just had a masked man angle to close out 2025, and we're 1 month into 2026, 30 days into 2026, and we're already doing another masked man angle.
So, you know,
I have no idea.
it's first of all, get rid of WWE Unreal. Take it off.
Oh, I don't think they'll get another season of that, because they're catching major shit.
Major heat with the second season. You know, you have a lot of people who are disappointed. You know, after you have this disappointed thing with the LA Knight, you freaking throw him out, and you don't even give him a chance to be in the top 4. Come on, man.
Well, not even that. Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green.
The
Yeah.
comments Bruce Pitchford made about Chelsea Green that WWE left in Unreal. Like, she came out and said, listen, I understand. Like, I know my place. I can read the writing. But for someone to come out and physically put a ceiling on my abilities in this company hurts.
That does hurt. I feel bad for her. You know, and she should strike back. She should have some hostility towards the company for doing that. You see, look, you know, if WWE was to bring back some of the magic that made these stars who they are, I think the stock would rise. But they're giving subpar shows. The fucking storylines suck, and then they charge all this money for these tickets, you know, to go see these events. They're shoving pay-per-view PLEs down our throats, taking away the house shows, and it keeps saying over and over again, it's a new era. It's a new era. It's a new era. It's not a new era. You know what? Listen, I know I criticized the draft and everything. You know what? Get SmackDown, get his own identity back. Get Raw his own identity back. Have 2 separate shows and make it what the shows were. Raw was more edgy, about the storylines, about the less of the action. SmackDown was more about the action and more of the nonstop stuff. So go back to those ways of doing those shows and making those things watchable, where people can, like, you can watch both. You don't have to watch both shows to understand what's going on in one thing. You can watch both shows and two different things going on. Do that. You know, I don't know what they're doing, and then you can't tell me, oh, we have no room, we have no story for Rusev, we have no story for Finn Balor, we have no story for the friggin' the Street Profits, we have no story for the. Come on, man.
The problem too is that Vince is gone, but Triple H has surrounded himself with all of Vince's boys. Bruce Pritchard is still there. Michael Hayes is still there. They're still in charge of creative. Like, come on, man. They gotta Triple H.
Yeah.
It's not that he's not a good
Cut the cord
booker,
somewhere.
but the writers he puts in charge are not great. Road Dogg being the head writer on SmackDown isn't working. It didn't work before. It's not working now. He's got to go. You need to get fresh talent with fresh ideas in there. Like, there's so many other people out there
who have. And look, and yes, Road Dogg is a wrestler. Road Dogg wrestled in the Attitude Era. Road Dogg was one of the greatest tag teams. Him and Billy Gunn, they were one of the greatest tag teams. that's not enough. If you don't have the creative mindset to put some good stuff on paper to give a good show, then you shouldn't be there. And all the other people that are surrounded, Road Dogg and the other people there, get rid of all of them because they have really no knowledge of the wrestling game. Get people who really know what the wrestling game's about that can really make things happen. And I'll keep saying it. You know what? Shawn Michaels from NXT, have him come up and take over Triple H's job and do that because, like I said, NXT has nobody down there and they're doing a great job down there. Give him a chance. You know, just change it up because right now the writing is not there. It's really upsetting. It's really annoying because we want some good stuff. You know, the wrestling part
just because a guy can follow a script and know how to wrestle doesn't mean he can also write a script and tell people how to wrestle.
No, that's true. But
you know, Road Dogg had a great career. But it wasn't for his writing skills.
Nope. You know,
and it ain't going to be now.
Look, you're willing to freaking take AI and get AI storylines, which is a ridiculous waste when you got good writers out there.
Talk about an easy way out. AI is the easy way out.
Yeah, you have good writers out there that can come in and have fresh ideas. You know, like look, like we were on the chat earlier. You know, Raquel. I believe Raquel should have won the belt last night. I believe that she should have won the belt. That would have changed the side. That would have made Liv a little bit more aggravated. And Raquel would have been saying, "Aren't you happy for me? This and that." Now you can go after Jade Cargill and go for her belt, and we can both be champions. You could have stuff like that because Liv wants that belt, and you know she's freaking jealous. Like when she was upset when Raquel was saying that she was going for the championship.
But doing that effectively loses your surprise that they're splitting up the Judgment Day because then Liv would have to go to SmackDown to be the women's champion there if she wins Jade Cargill's title.
I know, but I know. Just you would have had, I'm going to show up at SmackDown, this and that, and then she's going to go after the belt, which then take a swerve and go after Raquel.
Hot take here, but that was the worst, sloppiest Stephanie Vaquer match I've ever seen.
Let me ask you a question. Stephanie Vaquer was wearing pants. Why wasn't she wearing a signature shorts? And because of the street fight? That's why.
Probably, yeah.
Or they changed the music up.
Yeah, maybe.
Why did they change the music up?
Maybe she didn't get late. Yeah, she got Def Rebel to shit. Not that her previous music was that great, but like, I feel like you go, hey, Stephanie, let me see your Spotify list. Let me see your iTunes library. And you can get a feel for kind of the type of music that girl's into. And you're going to give her whatever the hell WWE just gave her. Like, for no reason. Because it's a new era. No.
She wanted to keep her music. She kept it before. She actually told them that I want to keep my old music.
Yeah, it's shitty. And her music's shitty. Her new music is shitty. Then they did the same thing to Jordan Grace. And I feel bad for both of them. But maybe, part of me wonders if maybe it's because she didn't get back from Saudi Arabia in time to bring other gear since they went from Saudi right to Philly.
Maybe. I'm surprised because you know what, she in every fight she's had, and not to say that because I want to wear shorts, but I'm just saying the fact is that I'm very surprised that she's wearing pants because that's what she wore a bodysuit in Saudi Arabia to cover up and then comes back. And that's another thing too. That's like because people are focusing on her backside doing the devil's kiss. That's what they're friggin' her ass. That's what people worry about WWE that her ass is getting more attention than she is.
Well, apparently that's what it is. You heard the whole crowd on Monday night going, But dude, that was a terrible street fight. It was a terrible match. It was slow.
A little sloppy.
It was sloppy. There was one time where Raquel put Stephanie through a table where it looked like she just set her down and she barely touched the table and the table broke in half. Like it was sloppy when Liv and Roxanne came out. Like I said in the chat, man, to me, putting the belt on Raquel Rodriguez made zero sense because I really think when Liv eliminated Raquel on Saturday and she laughed in her face I think this whole thing has been kind of Liz Morgan's revenge tour of like, you moved on from me. You casted me aside. That's why she's creating friction with Finn Balor. Now she's doing, throwing Raquel out, and she's refusing to answer Raquel's questioning about why did you throw me out? She's already proclaiming herself the greatest women's greatest Royal Rumble winner ever. So it furthers, the storyline of, well, they already set up Stephanie versus Liv before Liv got hurt.
Yeah.
So now they're going to come back to it. And it pushes the Raquel Liv narrative down the road more.
Yeah, because
WrestleMania or until after WrestleMania.
She threw her out of the ring, and now that hostility is still there. But let me ask you a question. Dirty Dom came out with glasses, trying to be sophisticated last night. He came out, he came back.
Oh my God. His nerd glasses there?
The glasses, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, hey, I think it looked good. It
let me tell you,
make him look like such a jackass with that giant ass neck tattoo.
Yeah, let me tell you this. How refreshing was it? How refreshing was it last night when Liv came out with those freaking booty shorts, and she came out with those things, and she was covered up in Saudi Arabia? I was like, thank you.
I liked her look in Saudi Arabia. I kind of liked the.
Well, it was the Power Ranger look. They were all go Power Rangers, man.
She had the she had like 90 like Jinkos big skater pants on with a fishnet shirt. Like she was kind of a little bit more punk rock.
Roxanne Perez was from freaking
yeah, like she was, like I said, she was from Kim Possible.
Kim Possible, yeah.
And then you had the Power Rangers.
Yeah, Power Ranger, that freaking Dupree, Maxine Dupree had the red. She was a red Power Ranger. It was funny.
And Sol Ruca came out looking like she was straight off of Van's television ad.
Yeah, she came out, and also you had Chelsea Green was in a bodysuit too, which is funny.
I think Chelsea Green's going to get pushed. She's going to get so many more cheers now, and the fans are going to get behind her, and she's going to probably end up being pushed to the women's main event because of the heat or the good heat she's going to get.
That's why I think she lost the belt, the U.S. Championship, because they want to push her more. And after Unreal, I think that she is definitely getting more of a push, and I think LA Knight is definitely getting a push. After Royal Rumble, I think LA Knight is now. You see what he did last night in Raw. He came out doing a couple of things. He is this era's Rock Stone Cold. That's what you have to put. You have to put that here. That's the Rock Stone Cold combined right there. That's this era is that. And you got to make
he's copying them. He's 100% a Rock Stone Cold clone.
I know he is. So you know what? You might as well go along with it and just have him like attack, like the way he's doing. Just go out there, attack everybody. Just be that anti-hero. You don't care who it is, good, bad, whatever, and just go out there. Get those cheers. People want to see that, and people definitely cheered when he came out last night. He had a big pop last night. The pop was pretty good.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I can honestly say. Last night, Philly's crowd is pretty good. What made me laugh when the Bella Twins came out, because Nikki Bella's boinking this guy from Philadelphia,
Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, Cooper DeJean. People were booing. They were booing her because they know she is. It's like.
No, they were saying Coop. They were fucking razzing her about it, and she was like, "You can't blame a girl for having good taste." You're 20 years his senior, you fucking cougar.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, that's all right.
Well, the reason why he has money. If he was a regular dude, he wouldn't get that opportunity like that.
No, absolutely not. But what else was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean the Saudi crowd. I'm going to question how well a 2-night Royal Rumble or 2-night WrestleMania is going to turn out in Saudi Arabia next year. Because, I mean, dude, there was times they had no cheers for the Women's Royal Rumble.
They don't care about
there was times where in the middle of matches, they just started chanting, "Thank you, Cena," for some ungodly reason.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. If they offer WWE and TKO $1 billion for the 2 nights, they're taking that shit, man. Come on, man.
Oh, absolutely, they are. 100% they are. That's probably why we're going to get Rock Roman as one of the main events. That's probably why WWE is putting Roman Reigns in the title picture so he can hold the belt hostage till WrestleMania next year. And it's going to be Rock Roman for the title.
You know, I like how CM Punk called him out, all those high breaks he's taken, all the I understand he's leukemia, but there's a real why is he thinking because he's doing movies and doing things and that's why he can't be there half the time, or it makes no sense. If you're the biggest draw, you're gonna get paid. Come on the fucking show, be on the shows. You know, it makes no sense that you show up once or twice and then you're out.
But it also looks bad when
he's not an active player.
It also looks bad when you're on the board of directors at TKO and your daughter just abruptly leaves the company, then decides to talk shit and then deactivate her Twitter account. You know?
And that's what I was talking about that too. That
it does look bad.
You know, look, I understand freedom of speech. You want to talk stuff like that. You know, because look, we all know that WWE is associated with
the Republican Party.
The Republican Party, the Trump administration. We all know that. You know, and for her to come out and do that, like I turn around and say, hey, look, you can talk your piece. That's great. But what is that going to do? Talking your piece, yes, you could talk all you want. Yeah, I understand that protests and everything is a part of all these things. And I'm not going to get too deep into this, but the fact is that half the time, what does it do? You know, you see what's going on. You're going to go out there and get killed or, God forbid, get hurt, get arrested, do something because you're fighting your piece. Right, fine. You don't like who's in charge, but think about it. America is the reason why who's in charge. So at the end of the day, you just try to live the life you want to live. You know, in the 80s, we had a bunch of shit in the 80s going on. You know, the only difference from the 80s and now, you had things to take your mind off stuff.
Well, and it's not like WWE is going out here pushing
they're not.
the agenda. They're not talking politics.
No,
people need to understand that Hunter and Stephanie are not in charge of the WWE. Yes, he is the chief content officer, but they have a board of directors that they answer to. So just because his mother-in-law is in government, is in the Republican Party, he's supporting his family. It doesn't mean that WWE is pushing any kind of agenda here. But more power to her. I applaud her, leaving and using her voice and platform to take a stand, a righteous stand that she did. And I agree 100%, but I don't know. I'm not behind the scenes, so I don't know if there's some kind of mandate that prevents them from saying something, but
no, it's not just her. It's people leaving their jobs, good paying jobs, to go out and say what they want to say. And hey, look, and not that I'm a slave to the what's going on here, because I'm not. It just, you have to look at the fact that I stay far away from all that stuff. You're never gonna see me in a protest. You're never gonna see me marching in a thing. Never. Don't want to be around. You think I want to be in Comic Cons and stuff like that with all those people? I go because I enjoy it. That's something I enjoy, and I'll do that. But hey, look, at the end of the day,
Dom doesn't like peasants.
Yeah, I'm not going to kill myself, to do something like that. But I want to I want to talk about my things here. That stuff should be on the side, on the far side. But
regardless, she did what she did. She left the company. It is what it is. But all right, that's enough of that talk. Sticks, what do you say we get into our recap of the Royal Rumble, and let's find out who's walking into Elimination Chamber holding that coveted off the mat IWC title.
All right, bring it up there.
WWE knew they needed something big for WrestleMania 42 main event. That is CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. But is it though? it's not really that big of an attraction.
Not.
I think your money was CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, or Randy Orton, Cody, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. Roman isn't really anywhere. I don't think Roman being in the main event makes it a big, like,
And he's a part-timer.
must-see.
He's a part-timer.
Yeah, it's not a must-see main event. He's main evented WrestleMania for the last however many years. Like, we saw it last year. Him versus Punk versus Seth. Like, I don't think we need to do that. Like, they could have had CM Punk against anyone else.
I actually think what's going to happen, I think that we're going to get a Seth. We're going to get the same carbon copy from WrestleMania 41. We're going to get Seth Rollins joining the fray before WrestleMania comes. It's going to be Roman, Seth, and CM Punk without Paul Heyman. I actually think it's going to go that way because, once Seth comes back, they're going to put it back in the picture. And
no, I don't think so? I think Seth's gonna come back and he's gonna dispatch Braun Breaker first, and then he's gonna go after CM Punk and get his title back.
You don't think that he's ready to come back for Elimination Chamber?
It's understandable people will be disappointed. We all wanted a certain wrestler to go over to the same event, but WWE probably wanted a big name like Roman and Punk one-on-one. No, I think it's just the safe thing, man. Like, they were playing it up to Roman Reigns is big in Saudi. I feel like they were playing it up to the Saudi crowd more than anything. Like, no one was excited about Roman Reigns winning. People wanted LA Knight. There's a young star. Obafemi had a showstopper of he eliminated 5 guys.
Yeah, he did.
He was eliminating people left and right and sideways. And then you had Javon Evans, who was in there for over 45 minutes and was your Iron Man. Like, there's more toutable names that are going to be there week in and week out. How are you're leaving your entire build of WrestleMania to just Punk because Roman isn't going to be, he's not showing up weekly.
He's not going to be there for a while. He won't come back until at least 2 weeks before the Chamber. Or maybe he shows up at the Chamber. Maybe you don't come back at the Chamber. You'll get him 2 weeks before WrestleMania then.
I think we're going to get him one more Raw. I don't know if it's next week or the week after because technically he doesn't make a pick on Raw. He kind of says, "Who do you want me to fight?"
No, he does.
But doesn't actually say.
He does in the promo. He tells Punk, he says, "I'm picking you because I hate you." Flat out.
He says, I would pick you because I hate you. He doesn't say I pick. I don't know. Maybe I read a little bit.
No, he says
I'm picking you because I hate you. If I'm going to pick it, it's because I hate you. Yeah.
And
it was the Rumble was the way Brock did get arrested.
Not what everybody wants, but that's what they're going to give us, I guess.
Hey, look.
So, all right, let's get into the Royal Rumble. The first matchup was the Royal Rumble.
You actually picked Becky Lynch to win the Royal Rumble.
I did. Hey, she wasn't. Listen, technically she wasn't eliminated. Everyone says so. It's on the video. Her feet didn't hit the floor, just her back. So technically she's still in the Rumble.
Yeah. Alexa, you know what's funny?
All right, this is
Nia Jax.
What's that?
Like I said, it's just crazy how me and Matt the entire. What happened, Nia Jax? You kept saying that the entire night. What happened, Nia Jax? How come where the hell did she go? Is she sleeping? Did she roll out of the ring? Is she hiding out someplace?
Dude, Charlotte Flair spent half the match on. Charlotte Flair spent half the match on her back.
Oh, yep.
What were you gonna say, Sticks?
Yeah. I heard that Nia got injured. It didn't technically go over the ropes, kind of went through, and they took her to the back. But
I vaguely remember her and Charlotte Flair going under the ropes and Michael Cole saying, "Oh, they went under the rope, so they're not eliminated." But then all of a sudden, they're saying Nia Jax is eliminated. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe there was an injury angle there, and they eliminated Nia because she couldn't compete.
I see that's the thing, but they didn't mention anything. Maybe we'll find out on Friday night. We'll find out what happened on Friday night.
Maybe. Yeah.
What?
I don't know. Here's your list of entrants as they came in. Charlotte Flair and Bliss started off our Women's Royal Rumble. Our Tiffany was our number 30. And the one who outlasted everyone was Liv Morgan. Not many extra people showed up in here. We had the NXT folks that showed up. Ivy Nile showed up again. Brie Bella.
Laura Vice.
I think we already knew that we weren't going to get anybody, no legends
Carly
coming
Shane.
over because they are overseas. Not everybody wants to travel overseas. Who? What?
Carly Shane. Carly Sane. She. Not Carly Sane. What's her name? What the hell?
Kiana James.
What's the name? This guy's fiance, girlfriend.
You're talking about
Carmella Hayes' girlfriend.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of her name.
Where is she? Where the hell is she?
Kiana. No, not Kiana James.
Kenny Jordan. Kenny Jordan. Yeah.
Kalani Jordan.
Kalani Jordan. There you go. I'm sorry. I was looking at
Kalani Jordan. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she did pretty good. She had a good somebody, like I said, the plus for the Rumble, some of these young talent stand out. They were stand out what they did. And So Ruka, actually she was amazing doing her acrobatic stuff, and she's just she's very agile, and she knows how to she's good. She's gonna be
fantastic. She had a fantastic Rumble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. No, down below there, that's we had Matt, Dom, and all picked Liv Morgan to win. Yes, I had Becky Lynch. And Dom had Bianca. He thought Bianca was going to show up. Yeah, he thought Bianca would show up, which she did not, unfortunately. But I thought you said it earlier, Dom, or Matt maybe. The Rumble started off slow, and by the time we got to the midway point is when it kind of picked up with what was going on inside the ring. So then the ending with Liv bumping Raquel, or towards the end there, she bumps Raquel out.
I actually like the U.S. Open Challenge because I think it gives us matchups we don't normally see and probably wouldn't normally see, and it gives people shots at and opportunities to show up and show out that maybe they normally wouldn't get. But otherwise, I agree with you. I've been saying it for a year now because that's how long we've been doing this show. I've been saying it for a year now in front of this pink fucking Barney dildo in my face here that Carmelo Hayes, they had absolutely no direction for Carmelo Hayes. They had nothing to do with them. And I was fearful about the same thing with Trick Williams, that they were going to have Trick Williams show up and Trick Williams was going to be just bitched to mid-tier like Carmelo Hayes was. But for some reason, with his lemon pepper steppers, they are attaching a rocket ship to his ass, and he's getting more traction than Carmelo Hayes did when Carmelo came up. So, I mean, it's not just not knowing how to book your talent. It's just lack of storylines. It's trying to push the same name. It's afraid to make new stars. It's afraid to let people have a chance and let these top guys fall to the aisle of relevancy. And I really feel like that's what it is for WWE, is that they're just afraid to let younger talent come in and shine about over the people that are giving them the house. As if you want to go to the wrestling term, they're giving them the house, and they're afraid that these young guys are going to take it and run with it and outshine the older talent. Like, you have such a deep women's roster. Yes, there are a lot of injuries, but there are also injuries to people that you weren't really using. I mean, Tiffany Stratton came back. Really, I mean, how far do you see, and no offense to her, but when Zoe Stark comes back, how long before she gets cut? Does she even make it back before she gets cut? Because she wasn't even that great of an in-ring performer, in my opinion, before she got hurt. Like, they were just trying to rebuild. Like, she was in this group with Shayna Baszler and what's her face, who's in TNA now, Sonya Deville, and they were both axed, and she was the only one left standing. But then she got hurt. So, really, does she even survive the after Mania cuts?
It's true.
Yeah.
He says, Marty says Dragon Lee deserves better outside WWE. He's having 5-star matches with Will Ospreay. Yeah, I mean, Dragon Lee, I think he's got some good stuff coming now that AJ's retired. It was nice to see him come out and attack Gunther on Raw. It was nice to see him sell that choke out from Gunther on Raw. I find Dragon Lee kind of boring in WWE, to be honest with you. They kind of neutered him, and I hope that this is a change of course for Dragon Lee, and they're going to give him a little bit more shine and stuff. Like, it just seems like the luchador just doesn't work in WWE. The WWE style doesn't transition well for luchadors. Like, look at Penta. Penta had a rocket ship on his ass when he came in, and they just dumped cold water on him. And I feel like his poor brother has not ever been able to get off the ground over on SmackDown. But they're pairing him with guys that they shouldn't be pairing him with. Like, they're pairing him against heavyweights. Like, you have Penta versus, Bronson Reed. What's Penta going to do there? He's got to slow down and play more to Bronson Reed's style. Where if you paired him against like a Javon Evans or, somebody who can go, well, then maybe, just maybe, you get more out of Penta. You get more out of Dragon Lee. You get more out of Ray Phoenix. It just, I don't know. There's a reason why the LWO isn't around anymore, and that most of these guys have been sent over to AAA. It's just because it just feels like the lucha style doesn't really transition well to WWE. Go ahead, Sticks. Sorry to keep interrupting you.
Yeah. No, you're fine. I'll quickly just touch on your lucha comment. Lucha is its own thing, right? Rey Mysterio made a great run at it. I mean, he's been the one in WWE doing that sort of style for the longest time, but it's not as refined as we get in AAA. I mean, those guys are, when they're on, they're always, flipping, flopping, jumping. That's how that style runs. So, but let's get on to the next match. Next match was, if I can remember, it was AJ Styles versus Gunther, where we saw AJ Styles
bronze people
losing the sleeper hold to Gunther. Matt, Dom, and I, and Pete all had Gunther. Dub took AJ Styles.
AJ Styles took his gloves off, put them in the middle of the ring, put them back on, and walked out.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells you he probably is coming back to go to TNA. Like, that we've been saying. TNA thing makes a lot more sense for him to retire where he originated from. Get one last run, and at the end of the year retire, hold the belt for a little bit, championship gold. Because when he did say he wanted championship gold, he didn't say WWE gold. He said championship gold. Right. That could mean anything, anywhere, any promotion where he'll go to. There's rumors saying that he wants to go to AEW, which I doubt. He ain't gonna go to AEW because they can pay him.
100%. Rey Mysterio is overstaying his welcome. He just doesn't have the sauce anymore. 100%. But I feel like that is only because they want to have him versus Dominic Mysterio for the AAA Mega Championship at Triple Mania, and Ray will win that belt off of him, and then he's going to start his retirement tour after that. I don't see Ray doing it for much longer because he's just constantly getting hurt.
Yep.
No.
He's a step. He's
kind of in charge of AAA now, right? I mean, he's kind of the main voice on there.
He's in phenomenal shape. He looks fantastic. He's a step slower in the ring. He just doesn't. Yeah, he just doesn't have the sauce anymore.
He's what do you want? He's 53. You know, he's my age,
something like that,
and he's still doing that stuff that I could never do. I'll go to the ring and fall. Oh, my knee, my ankle, my toe.
He's 51.
Yeah, they'd be pulling you out on a stretcher. You hadn't even gotten to the ring yet.
Dude, I'm lucky I walk upstairs, go to the gym, and do what I gotta do, man. There's guys freaking jumping ropes, doing flips off the freaking goddamn flying over the rope. Yeah. It's crazy.
Don would be grabbing his leg. Someone bring me a banana.
I'm cramps in my leg. I just did legs today, man. Probably have a cramp soon coming in my leg.
Oh my god.
You know, it was a good match, but I really wish they would have did this here and not Saudi Arabia.
But he says, you know how when you're in a sleeper hold, the ref has to lift your arm up 3 times. The ref did that with Cena, but not with AJ. He just did it one time with AJ. I think it's because the ref was like physically right there and saw AJ fading to the void. And like, it doesn't help that the ref was sitting there screaming, AJ, are you with me? AJ, are you with me? Like, he just walked up on a car crash and just saw AJ's body just laying there. He's like, AJ, are you with me? Like, you know, he was right there front and center. He could see that, you know, in true Metallica form, AJ Styles.
Hey, at least he didn't go out like Dragon Lee last night, Monday night, man. So over the ropes, dangling there. Look, that was funny.
Well, and like we said, this ended the way we thought the Cena match should have ended, with him not tapping out but getting knocked out.
But I think Cena did that on purpose.
Another thing, do you feel like CM Punk is just washed up now, and it's like that he can't keep up anymore at the start of the match, but he gets better somewhere in the middle or near the end? I don't think he's washed up. I think it's more so like, if you watch his match with Cena and guys that he's been in the ring with a lot, he's good from the jump. I think a lot of it is just feeling out these younger guys and playing to their strength.
Yeah.
And it just takes a little bit of time for him to find his rhythm with guys in the ring. And that's what it is. He's just building.
Because we've been saying for almost a year now, these guys aren't getting the time to practice with the people they're having the match with. They're kind of
guess what?
Thrown into matches.
Well, funny you say that. Funny you say that, because Cody Rhodes just came out and saying that he's a huge advocate of getting house shows back again. Just came back. It just came on the my feed. So the house shows are very important when it comes to a lot of the chemistry among these wrestlers. You take away the house shows, there's not a lot of time to prepare, to get to know your opponent, to have that training. Why do you think Jade Cargill can't? You know, she hasn't even wrestled. It has a belt for 80 days now. 100, whatever, how long she had the belt for? You know, and they're holding her with the belt.
Yeah.
You know, she had a match the other day. You know, but come on, man, it's not enough time.
Yeah,
not enough time to prepare. You know, you're rusty.
Yeah.
There's no house show to get you loose, to get you going. So,
well, how many times have we even heard people say, "Listen, I used to have time to practice and go through things. Now I don't, because, like you said, they don't have the house shows. They don't have the timeline isn't as wide as it used to be. Now it's 2 to 3 weeks, where it used to be like maybe 4 to 5 weeks between the PLEs.
Yeah,
and I think that's the strategy of the crafty veteran that you want to call versus the new young upstart, is that the crafty veteran is going to take their time and not gas out. Mm-hmm. They're going to just withstand. Like, that's what Gunther does. Gunther's not some great technical wrestler. he's good, but he weathers the storm. He weathers the offense that you throw, and he just
takes that
systematically breaks you down. He chops you, he chokes the life out of you, he breaks you down to where you physically can't go anymore. You have to give up. That's Gunther's whole game. Like he weathers the storm, and that's kind of what CM Punk does too. CM Punk weathers the storm. He sits back, he lets you come out of the gate with everything you got, and as you start slowing down and you're starting to get what they call gassed, then or blow yourself up, the term wrestling term, then he goes on the offensive and he starts turning things around.
Crazy.
So, yeah, all in all, this was a great match. Ended like we thought it would, and the spot with him and the gloves, I think, was great because it shows you that he is going to be doing something beyond WWE to go to TNA. Because if he just left the glove and then shows up in TNA, well, it doesn't really work for that. You know,
it would be retired. So would be completely different, and it would be it would be a lot faster. And that's the other problem with some of these young guys is you can clearly see that some of these guys are being told to slow down. Like Javon, I don't know how many times it happened, but Javon Evans flipped over the top rope and almost and on Raw and damn near cleared the announce table.
I know.
You know, these new guys that are, you know, peak, they're just built different, are flipping and jumping all over the place. They're being told they need to slow down, pace yourself. You're going to kill yourself. Like, I don't know how many times Braun Breaker's landed on his own damn head trying to do a Frankensteiner. You know, so you got to tell these guys to slow down.
Right.
The matches would be a lot faster, but they would be a lot sloppier. You'd see a lot more injuries, and there would be a lot less story. It would essentially just become AEW.
Right.
Even though AEW is now filled with a bunch of old heads, but
yeah, and with injuries, I mean that's why you need people in there to have it at a certain. You want it at a certain pace. You don't want to be, you know, bing, bing, bing. You know, Ricochet Rabbit all the time. You want it to be a nice back and forth and give and take.
It's great to get new blood in there. It's great to see these rookies coming in and they're putting new burst energy. That's why the house shows are very important. So you could have older guys.
You need that anyways. I mean, you do need that.
Able to keep up with these newer guys and have a chemistry with them. You're not having chemistry with doing nothing if you're going to put people together. Oh, let's have so-and-so fight so-and-so right off the bat. Out of the blue. You can't do that.
Yeah.
I would make it mandatory. If I was running WWE, and I don't know that they don't already do this, but I would make it mandatory that, you know, before a PLE, if you're having a PLE match, you're gonna mandatory be at the Performance Center rehearsing this match at least for 1 week prior to the PLE. Like you're gonna be on the road, you're gonna be traveling, but you're gonna be at the the Performance Center for 1 week before a PLE, a big PLE, rehearsing this match.
That's when you put them like on an interview on the show. That they're not in the ring, they're not there. They're talking an interview about their matchup, and that week that they're doing that, which should be mandatory. It should be.
Well, I mean, you would fly to TV, do TV, then after that you fly back to Orlando to the Performance Center for a week, and then
you don't fly out. You tape it in the Performance Center. You have like the
well, no, because your Raw is like your Raws and SmackDowns are usually live, so. You would go to TV, you would do TV, fly back to Orlando, spend the rest of the week in Orlando, fly to TV for SmackDown, then have your match on Saturday.
Yep.
That's just me.
All right.
That's how I would have it go.
That's a good idea. I like that. That's what they probably should do. Next, we had Drew McIntyre defeating Sami Zayn, retaining the undisputed WWE championship.
Good match. Gives you the idea that Sami will win everything this year.
Yes, Sami is definitely
right.
they set that up for Sammy's redemption in
Yep.
in Riyadh next year at WrestleMania. So Sammy will probably win the Royal Rumble. Sammy will go to WrestleMania to fight in the main event in Saudi Arabia. It's a decent match for what it was.
I mean, and
Nothing.
It was a good match. It was good. You know, you got to make Drew McIntyre look dominant. You know, he's great on the mic. He's a great presence when he comes out. He's really, you know, it's a shame, like I said, these guys shitting on him. You know, the Raw guys, CM Punk and Roman, man. They should have him come out and take out both CM Punk and Roman Reigns and going, I'm a second-rate champion. I'll show you who I am. I'm a dominant champion and and do that. And just really make him a little bit. I know he's going to lose to Jacob Fatu or freaking Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. I know that for a fact. Well, actually, I would put it on Jacob Fatu. I would give Jacob Fatu the belt before I give it to Cody, if anything. Yeah. So,
if Roman were to come back, let's say Roman shows up at Raw or whichever, would you have Drew McIntyre attack him to do, you know, I'm the easy way out, let me show you.
Yeah.
And then have Roman flip-flop his choice and say, you know what, maybe I am coming after you.
You know what, I would have Roman Reigns show up on SmackDown and come out and do a promo and have McIntyre come out and like really pissed going, you talk us back to me, I'm second-rate champion. I own the belt.
Yeah.
The belt that you should be going for. That's when you have Cody, but come out. But you should have something like that. Or have McIntyre just show up on friggin' Raw and attack. Well, meanwhile, Punk made a very interesting comment. He goes, "You're on my show. This is not SmackDown." But wasn't Roman Reigns part of friggin' Raw now on Netflix?
Technically, Roman Reigns is a free agent, and he can go to either show he wants.
Okay, so all right, so that's what I want, and that's what I'm trying to say. If you gotta, you have that, but that was kind of I was like,
he was on Raw, then now he's free agent.
So,
but wouldn't you want? Would you want it where he tries to, or ultimately has Roman say, you know what, maybe you're right, maybe I should be taking the belt off of you, and then switches pick to going after.
And you had a very interesting stare down in the Royal Rumble. You had Roman Reigns staring down Jacob Fatu before Cody went after Jacob Fatu. And they never fought. They never really had an opportunity because when he left Roman after he lost in WrestleMania, he left and left Paul Heyman high and dry. When Solo started getting all these guys and got Jacob Fatu, that was a big thing. So that was interesting. That should have been a little bit more, unless they planted the seed for something down the road with that,
Right.
So
right. Right. And then the match of the night, men's Royal Rumble. There's your list of who was in the Rumble, the position they showed up at.
Man,
where ultimately we had Roman Reigns taking.
Nobody had Roman Reigns.
Nobody.
You think Roman Reigns was going to win? That they're going to give it him.
There was a lot of rumblings that Roman Reigns was going to win. I was just hopeful that they weren't going to do that and they weren't going to pull that trigger, and we were going to get, the likes of an LA Knight or, somebody else.
I never expected Braun Breaker to be knocked out. To come out and get a freaking fast man.
I definitely didn't.
Yeah, I know you didn't.
Especially at 2, and then he was out in 6 seconds.
That was funny.
I mean, Roman, Paul, the Tripster, the Levexter. Oh, there's going to be lots of surprises in the Royal Rumble this year.
Yeah, surprise. Roman Reigns won. There you go.
Our surprise was Brie Bella is back. Oh, hey, we are giving the face down of the Americanos and original El Grande and El Grande Americano.
My thing is, I would have had Chad Gable come out, not the original America. I would have Chad Gable come out, fight in the thing, throw out freaking El Grande Americano, throw him out, and then you would have had a situation. Then later on, you would have El Grande come back later on. I wouldn't have had the original El Grande come back yet.
You know what they're doing? They're
probably going to end up having like a match between the two of them.
Mask match.
Take over that.
Take the mask off.
Yeah, it's going to be a.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a. They're doing the Sin Cara thing all over again. Remember when we had 2 Sin Caras?
Yep.
They're doing the Sin Cara thing all over again, where they're probably going to have a match, and the loser has to no longer be El Grande Americano.
Yep.
We're just rinsing and repeat here. We're not fucking
not progressing.
Not breaking the cycle at all. We're just digging into old archives now.
It's like they're going through their Rolodex. So we haven't done that in a couple of years. We haven't done that in a month. We haven't done this in 2 weeks for the Masked Man.
That's what Finn Balor did wrong, I think. Finn Balor should have just went on some show and declared himself for the Royal Rumble. He shouldn't have went to Pierce and asked. Roman can be in the Rumble just because he declares himself in the Rumble. Brock Lesnar is in the Rumble just because he declares himself in the Rumble. After Adam Pearce already said, nope, Rumble's full, sorry. Let's look at these participants here.
Yeah.
Obafemi, good. Braun Breaker, good. Solo Sikoa, yep. Rey Mysterio, Rusev, yep.
See?
Yeah, I thought that.
Grayson Waller coming up as a Masked Man.
I don't think it was Grayson Waller.
I don't think it was Grayson Waller either. Well, I mean, it could be, like you said, it could be anybody because they're under a mask, but it didn't look like him under that mask.
Grayson Waller's with the New Day. Why would he? What would he have to do anything with the Vision?
Well, it did say. This is what this says. It says, while Grayson Waller was the man in the black hoodie at the Royal Rumble, it doesn't mean that he'll be revealed the man who attacked Braun Breaker.
Yeah, and
that's freaking Rollins did not travel to Saudi Arabia, and they needed someone with his frame to pull off the attack. So it's basically supposed to be Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that's 100% believable.
Wasn't he in Saudi Arabia like a month ago? Didn't he do like a interview in Saudi Arabia like a month ago that he was there with his family?
No, that was Randy.
That was Randy. Randy Orton and
that was Randy.
They were there. Randy Orton was there.
That was Randy Orton. You're right. All right.
I don't feel like Matt Cardona got enough time to shine.
Nope.
Damian Priest did all right. Javon Evans did great. Mr. Iguana, that was a fucking waste of a spot. That could have went to Finn Balor. Trick Williams did good. Cody Rhodes, of course. Having Drew McIntyre get involved in this and drive by Cody Rhodes, that pretty much told you that whoever won this was going after CM Punk, and they're building towards Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre 67 at WrestleMania. And then El Grande, then the original El Grande, that was stupid. Royce Keys, I feel bad for Powerhouse Hobbs. Like I said earlier, coming back to that ovation to a crowd that had no fucking clue who he was. Bronson Reed, all right. Ilya Dragunov, meh. Laparca. Laparca's
didn't Dragunov get thrown out by Brock Lesnar? Yeah, he did, right?
I think so.
Yes.
Logan Paul, LA Knight, Brock Lesnar, The Miz. Miz was another wasted spot.
Ray's Phoenix was done. 1, 2, 3.
Miz was only in there to keep his.
Jey Uso came in there. Roll it back.
Jey Uso came in there yeeting for 2 minutes. And it felt like 2
minutes.
Yeah, it was
walking down the steps for 2 minutes.
Yeah, he used as the whole amount of time.
Very surprised that actually no one talks about. Very surprised that
took time to dab up Michael Cole. He got it all in.
That what's his face? That Penta ran down the aisle instead of walking his slow pace. He ran down the aisle.
Yeah. Who would have guessed that we were all thinking that it was going to be Penta or Shinsuke that took forever to get to the ring and end up being fucking Uso, Jey Uso.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. They probably told him in the back, hey, listen,
we got Jey Uso doing the yeet for a while, so we can't have you come out slow either. And listen, wasn't the Royal Rumble quick? The men's Royal Rumble.
It felt like I was about to say, it felt like their time between entrances was very sloppy. It was all over the place. Because at one point it felt like
the timing was not.
You were getting new wrestlers every minute, and then
the women's was every minute.
And then Jey Uso took 2.5 minutes to come down to the ring, and
then Brock Lesnar gets thrown out.
Yeah, by
yeet
Cody
it up,
Rhodes
dab up,
and LA Knight.
yeet it up, dab up Michael Cole,
Yep.
dab up Wade Barrett, run it back. Yeah, ridiculous.
And I like what Roman told him to run it back. He ran it back, and like I told him, he punched him right in the face.
Roman Reigns was a safe play to win this.
And the pucker.
That's pretty much all it is. Is that
And then
WWE
Gunther came
is
out.
they're all Care Bears in play school, and so they were playing it safe. And Roman Reigns was a safe choice to win this match because God forbid they would have to create something else with the likes of LA Knight winning or Obafemi winning or Solo Sikoa.
Look, I know Obafemi wouldn't have won. I know that, but LA Knight, they should have given it to LA Knight. LA Knight should have won, had the opportunity, and win the belt, give him the championship. He's getting old. He's in his 40s. You got to give this man his due. Let him win one championship. At least he wins the championship, and you can have him have like a nice run with the championship for a minute to introduce new people, new matches, and something new.
But they want him to be the proverbial mid-carder, and that's not happening because the fans aren't allowing it to happen.
No.
The fans are pushing him when they don't want you to push him.
Hey, Six, we're saying Monday night. He got a big pop on Monday night when he came out. So I think the fans are going to really push to the point that they're going to have no choice but to give him maybe Elimination Chamber. Maybe you get a chance in Elimination Chamber, and he wins in the Elimination Chamber. But I don't think so because they have to get the winner now to fight McIntyre. So it's going to be Cody, freaking Jacob Fatu, Randy Orton in the Elimination Chamber with a couple, maybe LA Knight will be in there. You put somebody else in there like.
Well, if you're gonna do Cody McIntyre, it's gonna have to be Cody's gonna have to be in there.
You have Braun Breaker. You have Braun Breaker go in the
happen.
Elimination Chamber and then get freaking stomped out and lose again by the Mystery Man. That's what you do. That's how you do it.
Right? Well, yeah. And after Elimination Chamber, we're definitely gonna have to find out who that is, right? I mean,
yeah.
So I don't know. They're not structured the way they should be.
You know what?
I
think Triple H does book over favoritism and not crowd reaction. He does. I think he has a lot of favoritism and a lot of I think he plays the safe bet. That's the whole thing.
Listen, you'd have to have crowd reaction to be able to do crowd reaction.
Yeah, I know, but
right?
Yeah.
I don't think these crowds are showing up with, they still have sticker shock in the eyes, and
when
you go to
man, it's like, look,
I don't know if you've gone to these those
all right, look at the line.
the sales floor. Everything's way too expensive.
I want you to look at one thing. Look at the men from 1 to 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
The youngest to the oldest. Rey Mysterio is the oldest on this card.
I would say so, yeah.
And the youngest is
the youngest, right?
Is freaking Devon Evans. Devon Evans, I think, is 21.
Yeah,
he's 21.
21. But look at the people in their 40s. The Miz, Brock Lesnar, LA Knight, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, what, 38, 39?
No.
Randy Orton's in his 40s.
40s.
Cody Rhodes is in his 40s.
Cody is
40. Damian Priest was maybe 39, 38. Rusev
he's pretty close. 30s. He's pretty close.
But look
Rusev is late 30s,
how many of these people 40. Like the 40 crowd that's in here? Like LA, you need they're the next to go. The guys in their 40s are the next in the next decade they're gone. Maybe the next 4 or 5 years they're gone. You don't know. That they're definitely gonna wrap it up. You need these new younger stars to come in here and really make these stars into superstars, mega stars. You need that. And this current regime is not providing that to happen. And that's what they need to make some of these stars really, like Obafemi is going to get a push. Braun Breaker, Solo is getting the push. Devon Evans is definitely the sky's the limit. Trick Williams definitely. Jacob Fatu, like I said, he's a third. But put that Dragon Lee. Hello's Dragon Lee. Hello,
And Logan Paul is in his 20s. No, it's 30s.
No, Logan
Dragon
Paul
Lee can't be more than 32.
30, I think it's his 30s, right? Yeah, I think 31. Yeah. Logan Paul.
Logan Paul is exactly 30. He was born in 1995.
Okay, 30. All right, Dragunov. How old is Dragunov?
30 this year. Can't be more than 32.
Who? Dragon Lee?
No, Dragon Lee. Yeah. How old is Dragon Lee?
Oh, Dragon.
Dragon Lee or Dragunov?
And Dragunov. Both of them.
Dragon Lee is 30.
Dragunov's at least.
And Dragon Lee's 30. He's young. Okay.
At least 30.
He still has like another 10 years.
Dragunov has to be 35. You see
Ilya Dragunov is 32.
So he's still young too. So he has another maybe 8, 10, maybe 12 years ago. So you got some guys that are young, but like the other guys are on their way out. These other guys, man. Randy Orton's, the Roman Reigns', the Jey Uso's last runs, the Miz's, the Brock Lesnar's. Like I said, you have to give LA Knight his props. Give him at least a championship run. But we'll see.
And thing is, and we know this, we've watched for a while. Age doesn't always indicate how long you're going to last.
No, age doesn't, but it gives you the indication that some of these guys don't want to go out. Like they don't.
But when you get
where they're injured and they go out and they have to leave.
Right. What I'll say is, when you do get guys that are getting into their 40s and they're still doing it, yeah, you want to kind of keep them in there because you don't know how much longer they've got, and they can stop anytime they want. With an injury, Roman Reigns gets injured, he ain't coming back.
I think the problem with Triple H is that he's got too many of Vince McMahon's boys around him. So he's not really like booking. It doesn't feel like he's booking what he wants to book. He's pitching ideas, and Vince's boys are kind of, I don't know if I want to say like talking him out of it,
pushing the envelope,
or pushing different agendas or narratives on it. But yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily favoritism, because we've gotten some unique champions under the Triple H era, but there's nothing like this. You got to think you can't say Triple H doesn't know how to book, because look what he did with NXT Black and Gold. Like there was a time there where NXT takeovers were outperforming the main roster PLEs. Like Hunter knows how to book. I think he just got too many.
He had free reign
around him.
NXT though.
He had what?
I don't know how much free reign he has in.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Not to that, but like he didn't have Bruce Pritchard and Michael Hayes in his ear and on the creative staff there either. So, he had a little bit more free reign to do whatever he wanted, because it was like, Vince didn't really pay attention to NXT. He let NXT do NXT, and he did the main roster. It wasn't until a guy really started gaining attention in NXT that that Vince was paying attention. So I just think you need if you're gonna say this is a new era and it's the Triple H era from top to bottom, like they need to get rid of everybody that was there in the previous regime, all of Vince McMahon's boys. So Bruce Pritchard's got to go, Michael Hayes has got to go, and you got to get some fresh guys in there. Like get some real like pro wrestling minds. If like AJ Styles would be great in one of those roles as a producer, or they have Abyss back there as a producer, which I hear is doing great things. And it just I don't know. I just feel like Triple H is afraid to make new stars because he's afraid of losing money and losing that draw. And I fear that with Obafemi and Royce Keys are going to be just like Roman Reigns, where they're shoved down our throats to the point where we're sick of them. Like for the most of the Roman Reigns start, nobody cared because WWE just kept shoving them down our throats. I'm like, you're going to take your medicine and you're going to like it. And we're spitting it out like, no, we don't like it.
Yeah. Well, listen, Trick Williams is in the chip. He's been in he's in the championship picture off the bat. He came here. He's hanging out with the high profile superstars. He's fighting them. He's in. So they're giving that opportunity to him. Royce Keys is going to come in. He's going to be in SmackDown. Royce Keys. So Obafemi is a Raw. It's gonna be a Raw now. So
Are they gonna have Royce Keys come on SmackDown on Friday night and destroy two? Is he gonna take out Faxium 2-on-1?
probably
Is it gonna take out Motor City Machine Guns 2-on-1?
they're gonna probably do that. They're gonna probably have him.
It didn't make sense. That made no sense.
They're gonna have him come out and take care of somebody on Friday night.
You shit on your only credible tag team on Raw, besides the New Day, and Ivar and Eric, and just have them get run through by Obafemi. You have a big guy like Ivar, just get absolutely decimated by Obafemi. Like what? Like I said, that was like the most.
Obafemi's very intimidated with that necklace of friggin' munchkins around his neck, man.
Yeah, it's fucking donut necklace. Looking like he just fucking robbed Akuma from Street Fighter before he came to the ring. I don't know. I felt like that was like the most Vince McMahon debut we've had in a really long fucking time.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Remember when Braun Strowman was fighting 3 people? He stacked all of them on top, and he
beat every tag team in WWE at one point.
Yeah,
in the same night, in one match.
Yeah, I know.
With a child. Like, I don't know.
Well, we'll see. But all right, so this ended in a
fucking 3-way tie, huh?
Damn.
Yeah, I might have to readjust because I had forgotten. And I'll let you decide whether or not this should have been extra for Dom calling the Masked Man. I mean, he called everything anyways.
I didn't call for Masked Man to be in the Royal Rumble. I didn't know, but I said that if Masked Man's will come back. But that was like something that shouldn't be part of it. Not to worry about it. Leave it 3-way tie. Because it had nothing to do with the I didn't expect a Masked Man to come out in Royal Rumble. Nobody did. So but
I did. That's why I wanted to wait till now so yeah, Matt, Dom, and Pete all tied at 30. I only got 20. Dub got the old goose egg. He
listen, I tell you what, if you want to use
he didn't have anybody right.
If you want to use that 10 points, that 10 points down the road for a future endeavor, let me know. I can use it when I'm like trailing behind in the pit.
We'll give you a 10-point spot.
Is it the money in the bank?
Yeah, Dom will be ahead 10 points on the next one.
No, hey, listen, congrats, Matt.
You get
congrats, Pete. On I think you're on tack tonight.
There you
go. I'm tired of sharing championships with you, Dom.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, listen, I guess we're at the crossroads of our lives. We got to share things.
Hey, they need to start having more than 4 matches. I mean, granted, 2 of them were like an hour long.
This is what they should do.
Here, but
they should have at least 6 matches in pay-per-views. There should be 6 matches. I know the Royal Rumble takes a long time, with the exception of Royal Rumble, but other like Backlash, Elimination Chamber. Hey, listen. So, hey Matt, when you left, I don't know if you heard me about the Elimination Chamber. It's probably going to be Randy, Jacob Fatu, Cody, LA Knight, Braun Breaker, and somebody else in the Elimination Chamber. And I think the masked guy is going to come back and attack Braun Breaker in the Elimination Chamber again, make him lose again.
Gee, you think? You think they're going to Jade Cargill it and have the masked man show up and attack? Yeah, exactly, 100%.
We still have to find out who attacked freaking Jacob Fatu. It's Randy Orton. You're going to find out. Find out very soon. It's Randy Orton.
And Cody's going to win the Elimination Chamber. And Cody's going to go on to face Drew McIntyre. And Jacob Fatu and Cody's beef isn't over, so Jacob Fatu is going to get added into that.
Yep.
There's no like shock and awe here.
You should have a tag team come in that's dominant and takes out like Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, takes out the top guys in their tag team. Have something, man. Look,
really quick. When was the last time we had a tag team match in a PLE? Was it SummerSlam?
When?
Yeah, probably.
That's a lot.
Dude, I figured holding on.
Hey,
listen,
most of the
I
tag
actually
team stuff has
think
been on SmackDown.
Alpha Academy is winning the belts off the Usos.
I don't. You're probably not wrong.
Ooh, wow.
I think they are. 'Cause I think they're going to go down the route where Jay fights his brother again. Because at this point, you're holding on to these belts. You didn't show up in Saudi Arabia. I don't know what the problem is with Jimmy, why he didn't show up. They say in personal reasons, but come on, man, that's kind of strange. You have that you have the Alpha Academy coming. You give it to the Alpha Academy. Let them win gold, and then you'll have Chad Gable come back and try to play nice with them.
I mean, despite having the whole Femi versus the War Raiders, Viking Raiders, whatever you want to call them, that's the first time we've seen them in months too. They lost the belt to New Day.
Yeah.
So it seems like they're holding the tag team belts close to their chest too, because they haven't been doing with that either. Male or female.
Yeah.
So
I actually think what's going to happen is I actually think you see, I said this before, and now they're doing this now. It says once an architect, once a visionary. Now he's going to be a revolutionary. And they're showing, look, I said this, that Seth Rollins is going to make his own faction. And it's going to be the revolution.
He had his own faction with the vision.
So apparently, it's
Dude, that's so easy. Just because, like, that's like the most clickbaity shit you've ever posted on this. Because just because Ricky Starks comes out and says the revolution will be televised, that's the most clickbaity shit you've ever shown on this.
He's been saying that for years.
Yeah, he's been saying it for years, but the whole thing, the revolutionary, that's who freaking Seth Rollins is. So we'll see. Bring my boy Ethan Page up, please.
The most clickbaity shit you've ever showed on screen on here. The tag team division
on the internet
is dead. It's on life support. It's pretty much done.
It's
pretty much done.
Maybe they feel like they can't book or they can't push a tag team division because they keep pushing singles competitions all the time. I thought we get spots where it's singles this and this champion that. Nothing with the tag team championship.
Or we get triple threats.
We don't have anything with the intergender.
We get the most obscure tag team matches.
We don't get tag team like the Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian. The Dudley Boys.
Oh,
we need shit like that.
Tag team used to be the one to watch.
I know the Road Dogg, Jesse James, and freaking Billy Gunn, New Age Outlaws. I mean, you had some good tag teams, man. You had you had freaking goddamn you had was it APA?
APA,
Protection Agency.
Yeah. I love go through the door. The guy goes around the thing, go through the door. Meanwhile, it's all empty, and they playing poker. But I don't know, man. Sometimes we really go deep into freaking thought about this, and we get mad about every aspect. And at the end of the day, man, there are positives in what's going on. It's not the positives that like that we really want to see, but there are positives in these shows, and that are going on with some of the wrestlers and stuff like that. What? Rapid Six?
Well, of course there are, but
it's far few.
When you can say that they haven't been pushing a tag team at all in 4 months.
What happened to the Motor City Machine Guns? They're in the back now.
Gone. They're
freaking the freaking Street Profits.
Security and doing what? Doing nothing.
The Street Profits got bitched to they got bitched to NXT house shows.
Yeah, because they have no creative plans for them now. This is what sucks. Dude, if you're a tag team and there's a tag team thing going on, tag teams, fuck the creative fucking thing with the storyline. Have them just involved. Have your tag teams tag teams should be going after each other.
Yes, they were. The Black and Gold era was around the tag teams were peak. You had the War Raiders were peak.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing's gonna touch NXT Black and Gold. Like, I think NXT Black and Gold was probably this era's attitude era. Like,
Yeah.
You're not gonna get anything close to that.
So many superstars came out of that are on the main roster now.
Yeah.
You can't discount it.
Well, I mean, I mean, Shinsuke was there, Finn Balor was there,
Samoa Joe was there.
Samoa Joe, Charlotte Flair,
Rhea Ripley,
Alexa Bliss, freaking Bailey.
Yep.
I feel like Alexa had already left to the main roster before Black and Gold really took off.
Yeah.
Same with Bailey, same with Becky. Tommaso
was there for a little bit
Ciampa,
at the end.
Johnny Gargano.
Yep.
Adam
Wasn't
Cole,
Trick
baby.
Trick Williams there. Black and Gold.
No, Trick Williams came NXT 2.0.
2.0. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Trying to think of Velveteen Dream. Who else?
Shit, Velveteen Dream. He definitely was considering getting a major call up, because he was actually really good in NXT, and then all of a sudden, the
Asuka,
crazy shit. Asuka, yeah.
And then you had Shayna Baszler, who then she got called up, and they did really nothing with her. They went from making her unbeatable to just jobbing to everybody.
Yeah.
But
You had a lot of good people coming out of NXT.
I mean, luckily for them, because of what happened with the what's his name there? Guys, you've already said his name like 4 times this episode. Where he came up and they just kind of pushed him to be a jobber.
Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo Hayes. Thank you. A lot of these guys aren't going, you know what? I don't really need that call up right now. I like it right where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Because it's true. Because they come up to the main roster and then they freaking get thrown in the back, and they're not really good. They become obsolete.
Yeah. They get tag teamed with the Miz.
The ultimate gatekeeper in the Miz, man. I'm telling you.
Yep. If you can make it with the Miz, you can do anything, I guess.
I've been telling you. The Miz is the ultimate gatekeeper.
Yeah.
But
okay.
All right, do you guys want to go over Raw and SmackDown?
We do that.
All right, I mean Raw and NXT, since SmackDown was before the Royal Rumble. It was just a go-ho show for the Royal Rumble.
And SmackDown.
Yeah, that didn't. There was only like one match on SmackDown. SmackDown that only had like one match anyway.
Yeah. There was a couple on SmackDown. But all right.
Yeah, let's do Raw. I didn't do slides for that, so
we could just talk about it.
If Raw and SmackDown was doing so bad, all you had was NXT Black and Gold, and can tell Vince was angry around that time. His main show was losing to a developmental system. You're 100% right. You are not wrong. Because I could tell you, 2019 Royal Rumble was here in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was more excited about going to NXT TakeOver Phoenix than I was about Black and Gold. About the Royal Rumble. And I love the Royal Rumble. But I ended up going to both. I ended up choosing the day of the Rumble to go to the Royal Rumble and ended up getting upgraded to floor seats.
The one thing about the pay-per-views,
wow.
I think the pay-per-views, the big ones, the big 4, should always be in the States. Even though I think that other pay-per-views, other PLEs, then you can take international here and there. I think that the draw of the Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, SummerSlam and WrestleMania are here for the American crowds that actually will fill up the seats. That and not to take away from the international crowds that love the shows, but I think that those 4 PLEs should be here, and then you could take on the road any other PLE and bring the. Listen, you have the fight in Paris, the fight in Scotland. Those. I know it's not ethical because you take it away from the other fans. It's not, but I think certain PLEs should be here. Like you've seen the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia.
I wouldn't do them. I wouldn't do them overseas like back to back. But you gotta go over there and give now, like what we see like Berlin and London and France. Those audiences were killer when those guys are coming in, and so you see that you really do want to get. I mean, we've had Clash at the Castle. That was in,
and I know you just had
that went over great.
You just
that's a great. That was a great test.
And that's the thing. That's the craziness. But I don't know. Let's just do the I guess the review on Raw and.
My hot take for the PLEs, if you're going to do it in Saudi, and this is the hottest take you're ever going to get out, is that I wouldn't do any of the female matches there because they're just not. They just don't react to them at all. There's no reaction to them. It was cold, dead audience during that women's match. Probably why they put it first.
Yeah.
But we at home enjoyed it. I for what it was.
I enjoyed the Final Four.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that last, like we said, the last half of it was the best portion. Just like Inhumans or Eternals. If you only watch half of the Eternals, it's a great movie.
But all right. Monday Night Raw for 2/26. The show immediately opened with Braun Breaker destroying the announce table and demanding a microphone. The Vision runs down to the ring to try and stop Braun before he does anything rash. If Adam Pearce won't be addressed this, Breaker tells everyone he'll hijack the show. Paul Heyman cusses out Adam Pearce because he knows the GM knows who attacked Breaker. Pearce walks out with security telling Braun that it was him who picked his number and that the last time we saw the hooded man, it was Austin Theory. He should consider himself lucky to keep his job after the performance at the Rumble. Really just poking the bear there.
Crazy.
LA Knight blindsided the Vision with a steel chair as Breaker is away having a go at Adam Pearce, which led us to our first match of the night, which was your boy Bouncy, Javon Evans versus El Grande Americano.
Matt, I'm sorry to interrupt. Really quick. Everybody's talking about that jacked freaking security guard that came out, a future WWE star down the road. That he came out in the beginning. Everybody's talking about that dude. Like that's because everybody, LA Knight, Trick Williams, and a couple other dudes were security guards before they actually got their call up to wrestling too.
Most WWE guys were.
Yeah, most of that's true.
CM Punk was in John Cena's entrance before he got his call up. Yeah. But yeah, so the first match tonight was Javon Evans versus El Grande Americano, with Javon Evans picking up the win after a distraction from the original El Grande Americano, which they need to just move on from Javon Evans. He's now officially beat every member of the Americano family.
Yep.
And so he needs to find a different feud.
Yep.
He's got to be the original Americano now.
Nah. During the break, the Usos sent a warning shot to Alpha Academy. They also gave everyone to tribute their cousin, the tribal chief Roman Reigns, after he won the Royal Rumble. Which did you hear Jey Uso screw up? He called American made American Alpha.
Yeah. Maybe they changed the
Academy.
name.
He screwed it up somehow.
I don't know. Maybe they changed the name.
AJ Styles entrance music played.
Maybe.
Is he back? Nope. Gunther enters instead, doing AJ Styles' entrance before the music changed to his own as he headed to the ring. Gunther laughed at the crowd's attempt to insult him. He berated everyone and AJ Styles on the microphone until Dragon Lee showed up to get him some of the ring general. As he attacked Gunther, gets a hold of the ring bell and clocks him with it. He locks in a sleeper, and officials show up to stop it. Gunther knocks out Lee by hanging him from the ring apron while in a
Nighty night. My man was
beautiful image too of Dragon Lee just hanging there. It was great work. Great. Hopefully they can keep that heel heat on Gunther, and it just keeps getting more and more nuclear, and they don't have Gunther build more go away heat, because that's what he was getting after all he did was come out and say John Cena tapped out like a bitch. And
now somebody else will run out tomorrow, next time, the next week when he comes out and they get knocked out, they get freaking put to sleep too.
Which I think they're leading towards Randy versus Gunther at WrestleMania, legend killer versus career killer. That's why they have him, because I mean, who else is retiring this year? So if he doesn't retire Brock at SummerSlam, you're gonna just have him walk around with this career killer moniker.
Let me ask you a question now. So he's gonna take away. What are you gonna do if he beats Randy? You gonna have Randy lose again?
I mean, you could have Randy lose to him. It doesn't mean Randy's gonna retire, but
I'm just saying. But you gotta make Randy lose. Like, come on, Randy lost to him already.
Well, still, that's how you build a good. That's how you build a good heel, man.
Yeah, I know.
Paul Heyman wants a match between Braun Breaker and LA Knight, but Pierce tells him that Knight has already left the building, and Breaker leaves. Okay, not so long after.
He tells Heyman to get him out of the building.
Yeah,
you got to leave too. So he left.
The War Raiders are scheduled to have a match, but Obafemi shows up and takes them both out by himself. Very Ryback or Braun Breaker, or
Brock Lesnar?
No, Braun Strowman. The Bella Twins get in the ring, which was about the time I went and got myself a coffee and something to drink from the fridge. Brie Bella is happy to be back home, but why so now? It's because they were the original tag team. The division is better than it has ever been, and they want the tag team championships. They're actually going to put those belts on a credible tag team, because they're going to take them off Rhea and Io at some point.
That's a hell of a statement right there.
Which that's probably going to be our WrestleMania match. Sadly, it's going to be the Bella Twins versus Rhea and Io for those WWE Women's Tag Team Championships.
Yep.
Maxine Dupree promises to break Natty's ankle, as Alpha Academy can only say she's a bad girl. And oh yeah. Then we got Penta versus Bronson Reed with the Vision, with Penta picking up the win by a countout with an assist from LA Knight. How long has it been since we saw someone pick up a win by countout?
I know.
Right?
True.
But it has been a while.
Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio returned to Raw. He entered the ring, let us know how happy he is to have watched Liv Morgan win the Royal Rumble. Liv joins him in a celebration.
Dominic Mysterio. Coming out with
She's the greatest Royal Rumble winner of all time. She also wants to invite the future world champion to the ring, her sister Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel tells her they have been celebrating her win, but they have not addressed Liv's eliminating her from the Royal Rumble. Morgan explains that she had a title shot and she got a title shot, so there's no problem. A win for the Judgment Day is a win for all. Raquel accepts that, but tells her to stay in the back so that her victory tonight is all the sweeter, which that's going to be your deception and your build towards, chinks in the armor of the Judgment Day, where you're gonna start having that what's the word I'm looking for? Resentment building towards Liv and Raquel. Then we got a Philadelphia street fight for the Women's World Championship. Stephanie Vakir versus Raquel Rodriguez, with Stephanie Vakir picking up the win despite Judgment Day's interference, which again, very sloppy, very slow, very drawn out, very boring. Lots of sloppy spots in that, and it's hard to do in a street fight. But Raw literally had 3 matches.
Yep.
Monday Night Raw was a 2.5-hour show with 3 fucking matches. 3.
Everything is
3.
everything is all segments. Backstage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns showed up in a car, gets out, and immediately heads to the ring. He tells us Philadelphia has been a place full of great moments and painful moments. He won his first Rumble here, and it didn't go so well. Roman finds it funny that when he wins his second Rumble, the next place he goes is Philly. He has a decision to make, and who better to help him choose than the fans here? Does he go after the title that he made? The fans chanted for CM Punk. They booed the choice of him going after Drew McIntyre. CM Punk enters. Instead of addressing Roman Reigns, he looks in the camera and sends a warning shot to Finn Balor, which that tells you right there that Roman Reigns probably isn't showing up again until after Elimination Chamber, because Punk chooses to address Finn Balor right off the bat, which is probably going to be his opponent at Elimination Chamber instead of addressing Roman. He doesn't appreciate him interrupting his time. Punk tells Roman this is his show. He is just a visitor here. Punk reminds him that he is the champion and what he says goes. He helps Roman to decide by getting the fans to react. If he wants to take the easy way out, go pick Drew McIntyre. Reigns doesn't think he is the easy way out. Punk tells him he destroyed McIntyre in Hell in a Cell. Roman beat Drew for over 3 years straight, but Punk asked how many of his cousins helped him with that. Roman tells Punk he should get grateful that there was a company for him to come back to. Punk responded by telling him he manipulated his family to do his bidding. He thinks by sitting on the sidelines that he's allowing others to have some time to shine. Punk has held the title for a long time with Heyman, and the company is still here. Just because Roman did it longer doesn't mean that that he did it better than Punk. Punk tells Roman that he chose to be a part-timer. He chose to go to the 10 countries in 3 weeks. Roman reminds him he goes to all these towns because he took 10-year vacation. The only thing that he learned from him is not what to do, or is what not to do. When WWE wanted to sign them back, who do you think he asked? Was it all good? They asked Roman. He reminded the Little Best Friends podcast he ran his mouth on. Reigns could pick him because he's the biggest star on the biggest show, but he's only picking him because he hates him. There you go, Sticks. And at WrestleMania, CM Punk will acknowledge him. Reigns walks away as Punk gets the biggest smirk on his face for Raw to go off the air.
Hmm.
Do you guys think that it would be a good idea for the women to have their own show and their own time? I mean, potentially, Evolution was a fantastic pay-per-view when they did Evolution. But I don't know if there's enough juice there in the women's division to hold weekly television every week.
What if they did like what they're doing with like what's it? There's the one YouTube they put them on the YouTube.
Oh yeah, like Speed and stuff.
Yeah, Speed and stuff. I mean, you get them at you
or main
like,
event or
you put them on like
that.
Yeah, main event. That's the one I was thinking of. You know, you do their matches, like the dark matches, and then they show up on YouTube, and then you still have their main matches on the PLEs, because you can't only have a women's PLE. You're not going to get a huge attendance for just a women's PLE. Not every time. I mean, like, you know, the one they had great numbers, but I don't think like you do once a month. I don't know how much you're gonna generate with just female wrestling for Billy 12 times a year.
And now we shift gears to look at NXT for February 3rd, 2026, which had 5 matches by my notes here.
Yep.
Tonight's episode, or last night's episode of NXT, was live from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. Shawn Michaels has named Robert Stone the interim general manager of NXT. Like we all didn't see that coming. The NXT Women's North American Championship triple threat match. Izzy Dame retained over Thea Hale and Lola Vice with a pinfall on Hale. Kalani Jordan interfered to go after Vice and incapacitate her. Backstage, Kendall Gray and Warren Sinclair gushed to Sol Ruca about the Royal Rumble. Zarya came in to remind Sol that she needs to win tonight's match. More tension, even though she says Zaruka is fine. Backstage, Chase U were approached by Lexis King, Stax, and Ariana Grace to announce once again to try to convert Connors into their group, leading to Kale Dixon challenging them to a tag team match. Tony D'Angelo had an in-ring promo where he talked about how Dark State took everything away from him, and he's going to do the same thing to them. He has one other reason he came back, but he's not going to reveal that until after dealing with Dark State, which, like, last week when Ava was there, Tony D'Angelo was supposed to give her some kind of answer, and I guess they just completely, like, glossed over that now that Ava's not around anymore. So
Yep.
they
But
probably...
Didn't he get arrested?
Who?
Tony D'Angelo?
Yeah, he got arrested last week, and then
Yeah.
Ava bailed him out
Oh, okay.
and was like, I'm bailing you out because NXT needs you. And then she's like, are you here for NXT? And he's like, you'll get my answer next week. And nothing. And that's probably why he said he came back for one other reason, and he'll bring it up after Dark State. Jasper Troy had a quick video package promo to speak on the WWE Speed tournament going on now. Elio Flora versus Charlie Dempsey and Josh Briggs versus Eli Knight, with a winner facing Troy for the February 24th episode of NXT. Elio LaFleur defeated Charlie Dempsey by pinfall. Joe Hendry was interviewed about the title match, naturally saying that he came to NXT to become champion, not just entertain. Okay. Then we got the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship match. The Elegance brand, M by Elegance and Heather by Elegance defeated Zarya and Sol Ruca by pinfall on Zarya. Backstage, oh my God, and more backstage. Ethan Page spoke to the Vanity Project and gave them some words of wisdom, putting over Jackson Drake as a future double champion after he wins tonight. Oh my God, more backstage. Before the show, Jada Parker was with the crowd outside the Performance Center where Blake Monroe attacked her. They'll have a match next week. Because, you know, Jada Parker is always outside the arena. She can't ever do anything inside the ring.
There you go, Dan.
Lexis King and Stax defeated Chase U by pinfall. Connor's left with King. Stax and Grace turning his back on Chase U. Fatal Influence were in the ring for a promo about JC Jane's performance in the Royal Rumble. She gloated about how everything was going so well until Sol Ruca ruined it, and how she's going to kill her hype. Zarya then interrupts and says that Sol has had enough opportunities and that it's time for that she got a chance to rip the title away from JC's grubby hands. Jane said everyone loves Sol, but they just tolerate Zarya. And while Ruca has been proving time and time again how she deserves those opportunities, Zarya hasn't done anything to justify it. Renquick, or WRENNQCC, then came out so Kendall Gray could say that she deserves a rematch instead. Sol Ruca was out next to say that she should all chill out and throw her name in the hat for the title too. Robert Stone booked WRENQQCC versus Aruka for next week, with whoever gets the pinfall getting the title shot in 3 weeks in Atlanta. Kelly Kincaid asked Kalani Jordan backstage, oh my God, with the backstage segment, why she targeted Lola Vice. Jordan asked in return how Vice is going to knock out anyone anymore when she just broke her hand. WRENQCC and Charlie Dempsey were backstage. Gray and Sinclair are convinced Zaruka's infighting will allow them to win next week. Dempsey is upset over his loss. King, Stax, Grace, and Connors came over to ask if Dempsey's joining them any more thought. Then we got our NXT Championship ladder match. Ricky Sainz versus Shiloh Hill versus Sean Legacy versus Dion Lennox versus Jackson Drake versus Joe Hendry versus Keanu Carver, with Joe Hendry That's right. Mr.
Say
Say
his
his name,
name.
and he appears winning the NXT Championship. And those are your results for February 3rd episode of NXT on the C Dub.
You.
The ladder match was good.
TNA and AAA is in good hands with WWE. With AEW, all they did was put their world belts on Kenny Omega. They could have done more. WWE is doing a lot more with TNA and AAA. Yeah, the problem with problem with AEW, in my opinion, is they say it's where the best wrestle, but they rely too much on color, blood, violence, gore, and very little story. In whatever story they have, Death Riders don't make any sense, and they can't tell a story to get themselves out of a paper bag. So that's the problem with AEW.
Mhm.
AEW shit doesn't make any sense because Tony Khan is not a booker. He's just a money guy and a professional
Fanboy.
wrestling fan who is essentially playing with his real life action figures. But that's it. That's our review of Raw and NXT this week. Dom, you got anything else you want to talk about tonight? Anything that the Dirty Dom dirt sheets are spewing that we haven't talked about yet?
Not that I know of. That's about it. That's the Masked Man, who could possibly be. Chris Jericho.
Yeah, that's been the most
about Chris
talked about.
Jericho. He's on tour at Fozzy, so there was no way he was going to show up in the Royal Rumble. So if he does come back, Elimination Chamber, or a big grand showing up at the grandest stage of all, WrestleMania.
There's a lot of speculation that Jericho is still under AEW contract.
That's true
because
too.
he remains on the AEW active roster page.
Yep.
People are speculating that potentially he signed an extension or that Tony Khan added injury time to his contract because he hasn't been on TV in over a year.
Yep. Right.
Yeah,
Crazy.
but it's kind of funny how that could be. But he wasn't injured. He took time off. He just took time off of television.
Well, he had some pretty heavy go away heat, real heavy.
And then he was saying that TNA did, on his podcast, he was talking about TNA did a better job than AEW. He was like really talking about things. So I don't know, but like I said, if he does come back, it's probably going to be in WrestleMania. If you really put the odds on it, and we all speculated Royal Rumble. You do WrestleMania, you have somebody. You have somebody goes, I need an opponent, or somebody that have some kind of a thing, mystery opponent. Turns out to be Jericho, or something like that. But other than that,
maybe one of those open challenge, or like the open challenge match.
Yeah, I don't think it'll do the open
Jericho
challenge
comes
for the U.S. Championship. I don't see him going head like Carmelo Hayes. I don't see that.
We have breaking news. Breaking news. AJ Styles is set to make his first public appearance since retirement at the Royal Rumble tomorrow on a brand new episode of What's Your Story with Stephanie McMahon, where she has just recently released a clip on Twitter of the interview where she specifically asks AJ to his face about putting the gloves down and putting them back on. So we're gonna probably get our first comments from AJ Styles' mouth right there on a WWE branded podcast, which tells me he's still very much under WWE contract.
Yep. Well, we'll see.
AEW knows how to put on good matches. They have so many 5-star matches. What are you, Dave Meltzer? Under their belt, matches that get you hyped, not to tell the little story. What makes a good match is a good story. And I just think AEW relies too much on blood and gore, and they rely too much on cheap gimmicks and tricks to really get their matches over versus just good professional wrestling.
Simple tricks and nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Simple.
But that's it. That's the breaking news. Nothing else really
Nothing really.
crazy.
Yeah,
Nothing stands
they
out.
haven't really been talking about that. The whole masked man thing has been.
No, we'll find out. Well, tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Thursday. Friday. We'll find out about the Elimination Chamber. Probably starting the Elimination Chamber. They'll start pushing
Qualifier matches.
Yeah, qualified matches exactly.
But
when is Elimination Chamber?
February.
Was it March 13th? Right?
Oh, was it February? It's this month, sometime at the end of the month.
Is it this month?
it is.
Yeah. February 14th. I'm sorry, February 14th.
No, Elimination Chamber isn't the 14th, is it?
On Valentine's Day? Toy Fair?
February 28th.
Yeah, the end of the month.
The
Yeah,
end
the
of the month.
last day of February. The short month, so.
And then we will have no PLEs
Maybe there was one
until WrestleMania.
There's nothing in March, so you can build up storylines on the main shows.
They'll throw something in there. Who knows? Okay.
Oh, I'm half certain there's probably a Saturday night main event.
I think there's one. I think there in March. There's one in March. There's a Saturday main event in March. I think March 14th or March.
Maybe that's what I said. March 14th. I knew there was a PLE March 14th or A 14th.
We should be getting NXT Vengeance Day soon. Elimination Chambers the 28th. NXT Roadblock. They're saying in March. There is no, as of right now, no NXT or no Saturday main event. Maybe they're done with Saturday main events.
Let's see here.
That you're 100% right. WWE got us talking about Masked Man. No one is talking about AEW and what they got going on right now. Nothing. And that's sad because goddamn if MJF isn't a stud and
right,
nobody else and it Timeless Tony Storm isn't doing some of the best work in the industry for the women. But nobody is talking about what's going on in AEW. And if they are, it's always negative. There's never any. I rarely hear anything positive about what AEW is doing right now.
AEW just had an issue with paying people like the Instagram and social media accounts, something like that. That they weren't like accounts. Tony Khan was paying
Shilling.
money.
Yep, the shill for him.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, he was doing that.
Hey, if you mention us, we'll give you an extra.
Well,
bonus.
tonight they were talking about something going on tonight. MJF was fighting Briscoe, and they were chanting a certain something in the other crowd, and they were saying it loud. They were saying "FA." A liquid substance.
What?
What
a liquid substance.
Freezing water. What do you call freezing water?
Oh, gotcha.
All
yeah,
right. So they were saying that they were screaming in the crowd with the MJF and Briscoe fight tonight.
Okay.
Whatever.
So, it.
All right. Anything else? Anything from the chat? The floor is yours.
Nope.
If not, we're gonna call it a night.
Yep.
Going once, going twice.
All
right. I want to thank everyone for hanging out tonight. Thank you, Muddy, for joining us. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Garaki for stopping by. Thank you all so much for joining us on Saturday for our watch along of WWE Royal Rumble. Christian Cage should have been AEW World Champion. I 100% agree.
Yep.
100% agree.
Yeah.
But
he's still doing their stuff over there.
thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the Royal Rumble, enjoyed Raw, enjoyed NXT, and getting ready for SmackDown this Friday night. Make sure to join us next Thursday night at our normal time as we return to our normal 9 p.m. Thursday night time slot.
Yep.
For more off the mat goodness. If you want more from Sticks, catch him every Tuesday night over on his Stick Boy channel for the Doctor Who Rewind. If you want more from Dom, you can catch him right here every Thursday night for Off the Mat, as well as over on our friend Renovision's channel for the Qualified if you're into comic books on Friday night, and Star Wars on Sunday if you're into Star Wars show. And of course, you can catch me here all week long on my channel, Absolute Geek, as we talk comics and professional wrestling and just everything geeky goodness. And on that note, Dom, take us out with some words of wisdom, my friend.
Sure. I say do the difficult things while they're easy. Do the great things while they're small. A journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step.
Thanks, Google.
Hey, listen, I couldn't think of anything off the head tonight. I had to Google something. Hey, listen. Hey, look, I get by every week with saying something, trying to figure it out. So I had to find something. It sounded good.
You could have easily just said man with itchy hole has stinky finger and called it a night. But you had to go to Google.
I went to Google.
Join us next week when we find out what words of wisdom Dom is going to chat GPT next.
Oh, damn,
Have
man.
a great night, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the week of professional wrestling, and we'll see you right back here next Thursday night for a brand new episode of Off the Mat.
In the ring, the lights go down. Roaring crowd, they scream and shout. Chants echo, shaking the ground. Warriors clash, the game is found. Welcome to